The Coalition of African-American Pastors have launched a marriage petition campaign. This briefing is about 35 minutes.
I want to thank all of you for coming out for this news conference today. My name is William Owens. I'm the founder and the president of the Coalition of African-American Pastors. I'm standing with my wife and our baby, Dr. Deborah Owens, my son, Reverend William Owens, and all of the pastors that are with us, Bishop Harry Jackson, all of the pastors that are with us today. They came in support of our effort to save the family. That marriage should be between a man and a woman. The time has come for a broad-based assault against the powers that be that want to change our culture to one of men marrying men and women marrying women. We wrote the President and Mr. Holder May the 2nd, requesting an audience with him to discuss this very issue. He has not given us a courtesy of any reply. The Coalition of African-American Pastors consists of 3,742 African-American pastors, and he has totally ignored us. He has not given us the pleasure of even answering our request, which is very discourteous and unprofessional, first of all. Also, the President has ignored the black community because he feels he has us in his pocket. Well, we are not in his pocket. And because he's black, we refuse to give him a pass. We will announce a program very soon called the Mandate for Marriage. And I've asked my son, William, Bishop Nowlin of Los Angeles, California, to head that group up where we're going across this country asking people to support us in our efforts to save the family. With all of the challenges and the problems facing the African-American community, we are lowest in the scores in education of any group in America. We have fewer jobs. The prisons are full of African-American men. There are more men in prison than in college. Go to any courtroom USA each day and you will see those courts full of black men on their way to prison. But they have chosen something to cater to the homosexual community, to cater to Hollywood, to cater to the big-moneyed people. They have chosen that course and just ignored the people that put the President where he is. The President is in the White House because of the Civil Rights Movement, and I was a leader in that movement. And I didn't march 1 inch, 1 foot, 1 yard for a man to marry a man and a woman to marry a woman. So the President has forgotten the price that was paid, where people died, where they suffered, where they gave their blood to have equal rights in the United States. And for the homosexual community and for the President to bow to the money, as Judas did with Jesus Christ, is a disgrace, and we are ashamed. We will not take it back. We will not back down, that we are going to take action across this country to change the course that this President is carrying us in. As an example, some people are saying because of the position that Chick-fil-A is taking, they don't want them in their cities. It's a disgrace. It's the same thing that happened when I was marching for civil rights, when they didn't want a black to come into their restaurant. They didn't want us staying in their hotels. Now they're saying because we take a Christian position, they don't want us in their cities. Well, we won't take it. We will stand up, and they will learn that they can't do that to any people. By destroying religion, by destroying the family, it won't happen on our watch. We will stand up. So we must employ new methods by starting this mandate for marriage to protect the family. Families of all colors. Mothers, how will you feel 1 year, 10 years, 15, 20 years from now, and that little beautiful girl you reared come and tell you, Mama, Mother, I want a wedding. Father, I want a wedding. I want you to give me a wedding, and she's going to marry a woman. Your heart will be broken. So think about what you're doing by giving the president a pass in this arena, in this fight, by saying it's okay because we're black and you're black and we're going to stand you. Mr. President, I'm not going to stand with you. And there are thousands of others across this country that are not going to stand with you with this foolishness. So we would like to conclude by saying, bringing some more speakers up, that we want people to go on our website. 100,000 signatures, the number 4 marriage.com. 100,000 signatures, SIGNATURES, the number 4 marriage.com. And sign up with us to let the president know that he has not done a smart thing and it might cost him the election. He did it because of money, and he thinks that there are more black people, there are more people who are Christians, there are more people that want marriage to be right than there are homosexuals, I assure you, in this country.
That's right.
And I think he's going to learn that lesson. So we hope in the end, what do you hope to happen? I would hope that the president would become wise, come to his senses, and know that he has made a mistake, and we can come back together. The people who put him in office come back together and admit he made a mistake. All people make mistakes. He has made a bad mistake that will affect the history of this country. I am ashamed that the first black president chose this road, a disgraceful road. It is a disgraceful road that he chose a road to endorse same-sex. It's unnatural. It's unscriptural. It is not natural for a woman to have a woman. It's not natural for a man to have a man. If God had intended that, he'd have made a third sex. He did not do that. So we want the president to know we will oppose his position until the end, until the last day. We will oppose his position. Now I would like to present with you, my son is going to head up our Mandate for Marriage campaign that we will start this week to get across the country and get people involved. Gerald, just speak for a second.
First of all, I want to thank my dad for taking such a bold and, in my opinion, a historic position. I'm proud to call him my father. I myself celebrate 27 years of marriage in October, and that's to one woman at one time. We have 4 children, 20, 22, 24, and 26, and he's led by example, and I thank God for that. I'm excited about heading up the Marriage for Mandate. You can learn more at themarriagemandate.com. And this mandate is designed to give people a chance to learn and also to express their values and express why marriage is important to them. We'll be taking this to the road, and we will also be teaching people the value of marriage and giving people a chance to express why they believe as we believe. There'll be more information coming, also a book. Again, you can learn more at themarriagemandate.com. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, William Jr.
You said that President Obama condones the molestation of children. Can you please point to me when...
No, I didn't say that.
I can read it right now. If you watch the men who have been caught having sex with little boys, you will note that all of them will say they were molested as a child. The president to condone this type of thing is irresponsible.
Okay, let me clear that up. For him to condone same-sex marriage is the road to homosexuals being more able to do it. I have never said that President Obama condones sex with a man bothering a boy.
Do you see in a way, a similarity between...
There's a correlation, absolutely, a correlation. He's trying to make legal what is wrong. There's a correlation. There is absolute correlation. And if you really know where this is headed, where it's going, it will end up, this is just, they're just opening the gate. There will be many more challenges facing our families if this stands. If you get, and in every state that this has been on the ballot, in every state where it's been on the ballot, we have won. So people like the president and others have chosen to just take over and do what the people don't want done. They have not won in one state, not one state.
Can you describe how the rights of homosexuals are different from African Americans in terms of civil rights?
There's no comparison. When I was a boy, you couldn't drink out of a white water fountain. You couldn't go to a white restroom. You couldn't go to a white hotel. You couldn't eat in a white restaurant. They've never been denied those rights. Never. They do everything. We feel they should have the best jobs. They should have the best of everything, but not marriage.
My name is Adele Banks. I work for Religion News Service. I'm wondering how you respond to black clergy and Christian groups who have said that there is more than one issue to consider. They may disagree with President Obama, as you do, on this issue, but they say that they agree with him on other issues.
Well, I might agree with them on some other issues also, but there's not one issue more important than holding the family together. It doesn't make any difference if you have a lot of money, live in a big house, have a fine position. If your family is destroyed, what does it mean? Yes, sir.
Thank you. In a very recent PRI survey, 18% of African Americans said that same-sex marriage is a critical issue, putting it below the economy, education, deficit, wealth gap, and immigration. Do you think this issue is something that African Americans can get behind, even though the numbers say that many don't put it up in the top 5 important issues in this election?
I think so. That's the reason we're going across the country. The same question would have been asked in the civil rights movement. I was a junior pastor in 1957, and we went to a restaurant. We had to go to the back door and carry the food out. And the pastor stood in that back little room where we were waiting for our food and said, your grandchildren will never be able to go in the front door of this restaurant. 7 years later, we were going in the front door. So we can revolutionize. We can make a difference if we join together.
Follow up. So a goal of yours would be to see that number, that 18% number of African Americans become higher, who put it as a critical issue.
Absolutely. That's
possible.
I know it's possible. We're going to work very hard.
Now, why do you think that's not the case now?
Because we haven't been out there doing what we're doing now. They have heard only one side.
Is the African American community not aware of this? This is against their religious beliefs or values, or you need to go out and explain that?
I think they must be aware every time it has been voted on. The African American community has overwhelmingly voted against it in every state, no exception, in every state. But I think the African American community must be made aware of the damage. And I think they are just looking at the fact that he's black, really half black, half white. They're just looking at that instead of what he's doing. He has ignored us. He's not only ignored the black preachers, he's ignored the black press. When the civil rights movement was going on, the black press was the voice of the black community. Most white presses were against us. He's ignored them. He does not come to our conventions. He didn't go to the NAACP convention. The church of which I'm a member has over 6 million members. He didn't come there. He didn't go to AME convention, but he goes to anything they want. But because he has us locked up, he doesn't have us locked up. And we're going to voice that.